Hi, my name is Silas Stamo, and my group will be discussing the Slavic culture, and my part that I'm going to discuss with you will be the religion aspect. So, in the beginning with the religion, the Slavics believed in a single heavenly God, begetting all the lesser spirits governing nature, and worshipped it by their means. According to him, Helmold, obeying the duties assigned to them, the deities have sprung from his blood and enjoy distinction in proportion to their nearness to the God of gods. According to this study, wheel symbols such as thunder marks and the six-petaled rose inside a circle. The cosmetology, temples, and rites aspect. In the cosmetology of ancient Slavic religion, which is preserved in the contemporary Slavic folk religion, is visualized as a three-tiered vertical structure or a world tree. As common in other Indo-European religions, at the top there is a heavenly plane symbolized by birds, the sun, and the moon. The middle plane is that of the earthly humanity, symbolized by bees and men. At the bottom of the structure, there is a netherworld symbolized by snakes and beavers, and by the Catholic god. Now, in the modern part of the Slavic religion, the native new faith is known as Roddenberry. This is classified as the new religious movement, and its practitioners harken back to the historical belief of the systems of the Slavic people in the Central and Eastern Europe. Roddenberry is a widely accepted self-depictor within the community, although there are other organizations which further characterize the religion as Orthodoxy, Old Belief, and Vedism. Roddenberries typically regard their religion as a faithful continuation of the ancient beliefs that survived as folk religion or as the consensuous double belief following the Christianization of the Slavs in the Middle Ages. Roddenberry draws upon surviving historical and archaeological sources, folk religion, and even non-Slavic sources such as Hinduism. The theology and cosmology may be described as pantheism and polytheism, worship of the supreme God of the universe and multiple gods and the ancestors of nature identified through Slavic culture. Adherents usually meet together in groups to conduct religious ceremonies. These typically entail the invocation of gods, sacrifices, and the pouring of libations, dances, and communal meal.
Hello, this is Ben Daniels, and my group is talking about the Slavic culture, and I'm here to talk about the food part and history part of it. One of their main foods that's a kind of a side dish would be like apple pie to us is their pierogi. It's basically just fried. It's got a fried aroma. They have apples in it. You can make it with fruit, mashed potatoes, meat, or cheese. The second food I will be talking about is it's pronounced tartar, and it is a traditional Balkan dish. It's like a soup. It's really healthy. Everybody eats it. The second food I will be talking about is called the sarma dish. It's another dish of theirs that has fruit in it also. It's got grape, cabbage, charred leaves rolled around. It's kind of like a roll, just rolled up with all kinds of whatever you want to pack into it, and they just call it a sarma. The next food I'm be telling you about is called the needle, and it's a fruit-filled dumpling that will make you want more and more once you eat it. It's used with potato dough, and it's filled with fruit. It's got like a creamy strawberry fruit taste in the middle. And then the last food I will be talking to you about is the salo. The salo, it's a delicious traditional Eastern European food. Um, this one's actually fattening also, along with all their other foods. Um, and as you notice in every food I've talked to you about, it has fruit in it. So I mean, they're healthy people. And to talk to you about kind of the history part of it, little is known about the origin of the Slavs, other than the fact that they come from southeastern, central, and eastern part of Europe. The Slavs are Europe's largest ethnic group, and they the current estimated population in Slavs in America is over 20 million people. So this group it's a big group. Obviously, they're well known. Just not many people know about their religion, culture, the stuff we're talking about, which is why we're talking about it, and it's why we're learning about it.
Good afternoon. My name is Hunter Becknell. I am a part of the group of Silas, Ben, and Canyon, and my portion of Slavic culture will be over holidays, celebrations, customs, and superstitions. The most famous Slavic holiday is called Green Week. Green Week is a festal celebration to remember the dead. At this time, it is said that the Rusalki, or mermaid in Russian, were believed to be at their most dangerous, in which they would leave their watery depths to swing in the branches of birch trees at night and stalk people. Swimming was not allowed at this time, lest the individual be dragged to the bottom of whatever body of water they happened to be swimming in. Peasant women were said to hang offerings to appease them, such as a cross, a magic circle, incense, garlic, wormwood, a pen and poker, and verbal charms. This celebration was held to give any deceased individual a proper burial if had not previously. And the birch tree at this time is a symbol of vegetative power and nature fertility. Trizna, an Ukrainian festival, is another festal funeral related celebration in which a high member of society would be cremated and they would eat as a celebration. St. Andrew's Day, which is native to Russia and Ukraine, is a celebration in which it is for St. Andrew's addition to the New Testament of the Bible. Babadin, which is native to Bulgaria and Russia, is a fertility festival for women practicing midwifery. There are several other holidays, which of the majority are shared between every Slavic country, such as Kolyada, Kupalanite, Malanka, and Green Week. I will now take this time to talk about the customs of Slavic countries. You must remove your shoes before entering any Slavic home, lest it be considered rude. Refusal of a friendly shot of alcohol is considered also rude. Slavic countries celebrate both Christian holidays and their own pagan holidays. Russia got the term of motherland by Russian devotion to their home, because communism left them highly dependent on family support. Nesting dolls, or matrushka dolls, as in sister dolls, and babushka dolls, or grandmother dolls, were taken from Japan, an idea derived from Japan, where communist soldiers saw a young girl on the side of the street holding this type of doll. There are 8 dolls total, and all decreasing in size as removed from each doll. It was first created and intended for children. However, only adults could afford to buy them. Russians have their own version of a sauna known as a banya, made of wood framing and iron flame pits. And Slavs also have something called a samovars, which is a brass brewing instrument used to make tea and alcohol, or any other brewable beverages one can think of. I will now take this next moment to talk about superstitions, specifically the days of the week. Monday is a bad day. Tuesday is time for great change. Do not move house on Wednesday. Work on Thursday. Be lazy on Friday. If something is started on Saturday, you must continue that every Saturday and only Saturday. And do not clip your nails on Sunday or you will lose money and happiness. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Canyon. I'm of Hunter, Silas, and Ben, and I'm going to talk about Slavic education. The territory of Russia was originally settled by Slavic tribes, which began migrating from the west in the 5th century AD. The first Russian state, centering in Novgorod and Kiev, was established in the 9th century. The Russian and Ukrainian people developed on the basis of the ancient Russian ethnicity. The origin of Russian education is usually associated with the immerse of the Cyrillic alphabet. The penetration of Greek priesthood into Russia and the need to translate the Greek sculptures into Slavic languages encouraged the Byzantine scholar and philosopher Kirill and his mother Methodist to create a new system of characters. It was called the Cyrillic alphabet. The first known Slavic literacy monuments date back to the 10th century. The creation of schools started after the christening of Russia. The history of Russian education opens up with the handwritten chronicles from the early 11th century about the Grand Prince Vladimir, who started building churches and schools of book learning in Kiev and Novgorod, and started obtaining Byzantine priests to teach children. The schools, which offered courses of 7 liberal arts, became important centers of ancient Russian culture, disseminating religious knowledge and translations of foreign authors' book knowledge, was preceded by learning to read and write, as well as acquaintance with foreign languages.
The citations for our group goes as follows. Frua.com for Silas. Slavorum.com for Ben. And MasterRussia.com for me. And education.stateuniversity.com for Canyon.